welcome to Sewing Nerd Studios. I am Jo. I've been gone for a minute. There's no good way to deliver this news, so we're just gonna rip the band-aid off. Oh, I thought I was ready. We lost little Bert, who was my sweet, stinky little shop assistant for the past 6.5 years. We got him when he was 11 and he was nearing 18. And I know he had a good run with us, and he lived longer than they were even expecting. I got to spend the last couple weeks of his life just snuggling him on the couch, because that's all that dog wanted, was to just be on my tummy all the time. He even started getting a little grumpy if I didn't have both my hands on him. If I was trying to play Animal Crossing or work on my laptop or something, he'd just be like, "Excuse me, ma'am, you have a job to do and you are not performing it well." So I'm sorry if this is how you're finding out. I had made a post about him with some of my favorite pictures on my Instagram if you want to scroll through some of those. That's honestly most of my personal Instagram feed is just Bert content. So thank you to everyone that ever sent fan art or just adored him in the comments and everything. I know he was part of this community. It's been really tough. And he was having a rough time for a long stretch. I'm not going to get into details, but he hadn't really been letting me sleep for months at this point, and it was basically non-existent. Those last couple of weeks with him, I was getting total maybe an hour or two a night, so I just wasn't functional, and I had to show up for him, and I'd do it all again in a heartbeat, But now that I'm starting to get my brain back a little bit, and thank you everybody for being patient with me while I was not here. I know you understand, but this is one of my jobs. So not having anything posted all of last month, I was kind of agonizing over it. And I just appreciate being able to take the time with him that I was able to, and then kind of have a recovery window, get through Thanksgiving and just try to process. And now we're on to the what do we do going forward phase of things. And this wall behind me is where his pen was set up. Now, it's not like I'm never gonna get another dog, but if any of you remember Frank, who was our previous mini dachshund rescue that was a senior, we had him just shy of 3 years, and it was about 3 years between boys. I don't anticipate getting a dog anytime soon. It's probably gonna be quite a stretch. I just need to let myself be a person again. In the meantime, I wanted to use this space so that it doesn't just make me sad every time I walk by because his stuff isn't here anymore. So my lovely partner put together these 5 bins. There's 5. You just can't see them all in frame right here. A couple different kinds of folders. And then I also have a curtain rod going all the way across this wall. What we're going to tackle today, because something I do when I'm overwhelmed and going through it, is organize and clean. You can tell when I'm peak stress about something when I start counting and stacking change. We have a change jar where our coins go, put them all in little piles and count it all up, and it calms my brain for whatever reason. So we're gonna try to do a slightly more productive version of that and go through all my patterns, because right now they're just in piles hidden away in drawers or hanging in the deep dark back corner of my sewing room, sitting in a pile printed out next to my printer. I would like to organize them by type of pattern, so we'll do bags and dresses and even different kinds of bags, because I have a whole world of them between mini pouches and then big purses and stuff. There's a lot to work through. I do have my commercial pattern envelopes on a separate shelf. I think those are gonna stay there. We'll kind of see what we're working with. Obviously my sewing books aren't gonna be over here. Those can stay on the sewing book shelf that I have. If you would like to see that stuff, I did do a sewing studio overhaul when I built the new cabinets that are in there and set up the backdrop and everything. So if you want a more in-depth thing about every other bit of storage in my sewing room, that's the place. But I'm kind of exploding out of my little hidey hole, which is all my stuff is usually behind this door, other than the cutting table, which I do have covered in stuff right now. I'm kind of a tornado of a human being. So anyways, I'm just gonna start going through it. I'm kind of overwhelmed thinking about how much I have, so I think I just need to start instead of like thinking about it, because I'm like, oh, am I gonna just time lapse it all and show you? Like, I'll just see when I get there. Obviously I'm still pretty discombobulated, but this seemed like something worth sharing. I don't know what prompted me to think of these, but I knew I had wall space to work with. Had this curtain rod that, like, you can't see it. Hold on. There she blows. That curtain rod goes all the way across this wall. And obviously it can't hold like a lot of weight, so I don't want to use it for my costumes, but the patterns that are hanging, that are starting to take over my costume rack, would do well out here. This is usually where I put like doctor's notes, but just so I'm not doxing myself, I took those down. But I do have some like random other notes and house sitting keys when I take care of people's pets. And then this is maybe the only bit of anything remotely Potter related, is this little Weasley Christmas sweater that Sarah made me. So thank you for that. I promised I wouldn't get rid of it, and I haven't, and this is where it lives, on its little tiny hanger, and I love it very much. I did have some fan art of Bert under this corkboard when it was in a different spot. That is now up on my like art wall, so now I'll actually get to see him like that much more. Let's dive into this coping mechanism, shall we? Oh, forgot coffee in the microwave. Is anybody surprised? I don't think so. All right, here are my crimes in this drawer at my desk. It's actually not that bad, I don't think. It's been a minute since I've looked in there. But the rest of my desk, I don't even want to show you. It's bad. It's bad, and this will hopefully help kind of work things into submission. All right. Okay, I have made a lot of these types of patterns, which are dollar store cutting boards. This was a trick my fairy godchild taught me. Super handy for stuff you're planning to reuse a lot. Obviously you're limited on the size of things, but like this is one big piece. Like you can get some decent chunks out of there. I don't know why these are in here. That's not where those need to live. Then I have iron-on labels. That doesn't need to go right there. And then these are clips I use to hold patterns together, as shown here. Okay, and then this is an Adam Savage bag. It's not to scale, certainly, but I've heard good things about the bag, and I know you can separately buy the pattern. I wish I could remember what the bag was called, but it's like the first one he designed. I think he's come out with a couple different versions, but it's through Savage Industries. This is more labels. I even have stuff made up for the bags I did with Ashley Morgan. Ashley, if you're watching this, I am sorry I have not made bags in time for the holidays. I had initially planned to get them done for Halloween, but like I just wasn't able to do any kind of production in here basically the second half of the year. But as I continue to become a person again, I'll be able to tackle stuff like that. These are from Super Secret project I had worked on and gifted to some of y'all, but I'm sure these can come in handy for something in here. Also, these are patterns from a sewing book that I borrowed from the library. Of course, I didn't write down the name of that book, so fingers crossed I can just figure it out. Oh, actually, I say that. I've literally already made bags with this. I think some of these are going to be Patreon gifts, though. I'm gonna hold off on showing them to you because I would like to get those mailed out and like not spoil the surprise. This is my handy dandy trusty dumpling pouch pattern. I've made hundreds of these by this point. Got my reversible sling bag modified pattern. That's from Swoon. These are all just scraps. I think I want to keep stuff like this in here, as well as my iron-on labels and stuff, so I'll just try to dig this out. Yeah, this is what the cutting boards look like. And you get 2 a pack, so I just bought a whole pile of them. They used to be clear, like more clear, so it was more like this, but now it's like very frosted, and I don't love it, but it is what it is. Ooh, see, I didn't know I had this stuff in here. When it's not covered in piles of paper, it'll be easier
to pay attention to it. I'm also remembering I have, yes, this like apple core quilting thing. A bunch of these were either thrifted or sent to me from my fairy godchild. So I think all of this is also going to stay here. Yeah, I've got some fun, weird ones, but I never use them because they're always buried. Oh, here's the other one. Yeah, just like a little internal corner. Some more quilting rulers. This one looks like a kite. This is for a specific pattern. There's a whole ass cutting mat in here. This could have come in so handy for the like little bits of quilting I was doing recently. When I piece a lot of little bits together, it's nice having a like desktop cutting mat and not having to go over to my huge cutting table. Then I've got this nice big boy. So I'd like this stuff to live in this drawer, but we need to clear the rest out before we tackle. How about I take everything out, put this stuff back so it's not cluttering the desktop, and then we'll go from there. I have a lot of stuff in here. I also like using page protectors for so many things. But let's get these in here. I think I might organize them by like, here are my tried and true patterns I'm going to reach for a lot. Here are ones I haven't even attempted. It's also helpful for me to just go through all of this so that I remember what the hell I have. Oh, these are some little kits. All right. So, get these back in here. Actually, I'm going to like vacuum this out because there's just bits in here. Ta-da! Oop, I missed a bit. Or that just lives there. That's fine. So get these in here. I fully forgot I had all this stuff, but this is why we do these things. This is why. I actually think I'll just keep all of those over there. Put all of this stuff over here. Oh, it's perfect. It was meant to be. I'll put page protectors here. I actually have another pack of them because I use page protectors for like a binder that I have recipes in. I use them for each month of trivia paperwork. Like each theme of trivia I've done has its own little page protector with all the extra sheets. Oh yeah, and then this can also live in here. And it does actually make sense, like having these in here, because if I'm doing quilty bits, a little detailed work, it makes sense to have embroidery hoops there, because that's probably where my brain is going to be at. Okay. These couple kits that I have that have material in them, I'm going to set these in my like on deck bins, because I would like to do these just to try them and work through it. And then if I like the pattern, I can use it with other fabric and add it into this little ecosystem we're putting together. I do have a couple patterns I've tried. These were buried down bottom of all of this. I tried this bag and I hated it. I hated it so much. I was surprised how much I hated it. And then I don't need a pattern for this. So these will get rehomed. Obviously, not that someone else might not like this, but I have some folks in my life that are getting into sewing, and maybe they would like to try that. They are easy to put together. They're like good beginner projects. Okay, this has a couple different zipper pouch patterns. This I did also try. A glasses case is good. I made one for my bedside with the fabric provided. I don't ever use it, even though when I was small, I had to start wearing glasses when I was 5 years old because I was legally blind as a child. I honestly probably should have started wearing them sooner, but I digress. My sister actually made me my very first glasses case. It was out of plastic canvas and it was lovely. And it had my name on it and a heart. I don't know if that still exists or not. Probably not. I probably trashed it just from using it so much. But the rule was, my dad would always say, on your face or in the case. But I don't do that. I just kind of toss them on my nightstand. I keep them in good shape. I get all the protective layers on it because I know myself well enough. But anyways, this can actually go with smaller pouches. Yeah, do I do it by size or like, this is where the overwhelm starts. Do I organize it by stuff I've made? I don't know. I'll just start organizing and see where we get to. You know what? Okay. Here's how I kind of had stuff sorted before, and like patterns I've printed out but have not even touched yet, I think are gonna stay in stuff like this. Like I haven't even cut these panels out. So we're just gonna keep those in here because these are obviously things I would like to try at some point, but have not gotten to yet. That seems most logical. It's not like I can't change my mind later on. Oh, I have so many. A lot of these are from So Sweetness because I was also gifted access to a lot of her patterns because she has like a lot of collections of stuff. I think that's a good way to go about this. That's so many. There's a reason we're doing this, friends. Dang. Okay, I need a snack and I need to let myself mull this over for a little bit longer. Okay, I have eaten some breakfast and also the lipstick, it was never gonna last. But I'm gonna take all these ones that haven't even been cut out yet. I'm gonna put them maybe in like the second bin. That's of course out of frame. I don't know why I came down so low. That way they're at eye level and it'll remind me like, hey, flip through these. Maybe you'll wanna do a little dabble. Dip your toes in. No, I'm lying. I'm gonna put these ones here. I'm gonna put these here. Son of a bitch. That way the ones that I have cut out and have all piled together can go one up from that, and that's gonna be at eye level. And then I think the bags that I've made and are kind of my go-tos, I'll have in the very top one. I think that's how I'm gonna do it. So the top 3 of the 5 will be bag stuff, and then I'll have clothing down here. And then I'll have my hanging ones, which a lot of the clothing is hanging, so I don't think I actually need a lot of space here, but we'll see how much further along we get. There's so much more organizing to do, so I just wanted to get these out of the way. They were stressing me out, and it's a substantial pile. So these have a home now. On to the next bit of divvying up. Oh, my knees! Okay, so this is one I have tried. I didn't love it, but I think that's how I'm going to sort these, is like bags I've tried, bags I have cut out but have not tried. I think that's the move. I think this is my little card wallet pattern, my dumpling pouches. I think ones I specifically have like in my production line should go in here. Just so they have like a little hub. And it's like, oh, I gotta get my like go-tos. They'll be right here. Then yeah, let's see. Should I be putting these in their own separate folders? This is basically the same as my card wallet pattern. I think that'll go in a different pile entirely. Then I got this beefy boy. Well, I suppose that's what the clips can be for. It doesn't only have to be garments. I can hang big patterns. Honestly, if it goes sideways though, it'll probably fit in one of those bins. So maybe I just do it like that. And then it'll be really in my way, and I'm much more likely to try it just out of annoyance. Ones I haven't tried, we'll just separate over here. We can calm down. And you'll notice most of them I have not tried. No, I did not try that one. I have tried this one though. Okay, I'm gonna put this in a folder. Am I? Yeah, because I can just label it at the top. I also know this one by name, so I think that's going to be helpful for me. This is Ramona. But also not like my Ramona Flowers stuff. That's a whole separate thing. I don't see me getting confused about that, but I'm realizing as I'm saying this, it's just what the bag pattern company called this bag pattern. That's clematis. All right, this is a backpack. Oh, I want to try this one so bad. I I do have the pieces cut. So we're not complicating things. Just put it in the pile of things I haven't made yet. That's all we're doing right now. It's another bag. I'm like, I was so close to making it already. Oh yeah. This is all this. I have definitely made these before. Do I try to just get a folder? Right? This is what we've decided. I am going to keep this clipped together if I have the hard patterns. I think I printed out different sizes. Oh, there are different sizes of the bag. That's right. That's right. And I've done this pattern so many times. This is the Swoon Festival Sling that I have made alterations to the pattern. So I swear by the plastic ones. I've also maybe made about 100 of those. I've made a lot over the years. Now obviously this is going to have to like go in at an angle in the little cubby, but that's to figure out after. So we'll call this Swoon Sling. Cool. This is also one I have not done yet. Oh good, I'm finding empties. Oh, I have made this so many times. This is the Dolly Bag by Swoon. So this can also get a folder. Beautiful. Swoon Dolly. Great. Okay, this is kind of like just a general alphabet, I think is in here. Like a reference for an alphabet. I suppose I could just save this one page, right? Do I need a booklet for this? And do I like this style, like this font? I'm gonna put this in my little like donation pile. Screw it. And then I have actually made this one. I ended up gifting it to one of y'all. That's the stuff that happens for my like physical perk patrons is sometimes y'all end up being my guinea pigs for things. So if I'm trying out a pattern for the first time, that's often where it ends up is with one of you. So let's do, I'll just put coffin. That'll get the point across. Ta-da! All right. What else do we have? Day Trip Wallet. Ooh, I did try this one. The So Sweetness Day Trip Wallet. I wrote myself some notes. Oh, okay. Yes, I wrote myself some notes because I got most of the way through and then was like, I cannot do this. Especially because I know the name of it. That seems like a good indicator. It's like, if I can tell what it is by 1 or 2 words, that's a good indicator. So, Day Tripper. Also, I do this with contacts in my phone, is I put an exclamation point at the end, and it genuinely makes me that much more excited when I get a message from that person, because I'm like, oh, this is Laurel, or is it Yanni? Remember that? I could hear it both ways if I listened for it, but what an intense time for no reason. And then I haven't made these yet, so these go in the I haven't made these yet pile. I'm definitely missing one of my like go-to patterns. That means I probably have fabric set aside to use with it in my on deck stack. So I'll find it. I know where it is. It's got to be somewhere. Yeah. Let's put these in their home. Yeah, let's do it. All right. I think I can just try to get the whole pile. I think I'm going to have to finagle the sling. Get these in. Beautiful. This can go in the back because I'll know where to reach for that. Excuse me. There we go. Then get
these in here. And we'll see how this fits. You know what? That's fine. It can just live in the front. Yeah, that's fine by me. So, ones I've made and my go-tos. I forgot I only have like 3 or 4 mini patterns that I go to a lot. And yeah, having the sling and the dolly pattern, I make those all the time. So that's a great spot for those. I've made more of the patterns than I thought I did. I know I have a lot I haven't done, but I have made more of them than I thought. It can be flexible. This can get rearranged as we go forward. We're just trying to enjoy the organization process. I don't need to stress about it being exactly perfect for forever now. It's not immovable. They're just folders. Okay, back to our main pile. It's smaller. There's less stuff in the pile now. So that's something, right? All right. Now I think I'm going to switch some of these that I have printed and cut out but have not assembled yet into some of these folders. Yeah. Let me fold this over a little more nicely. Got a little crumpled in my pit of despair. There we go. All right. So this is the Vixen. I'm very excited to do that one as well. Okay, and then the Oro Rosa backpack. I feel like I've heard a lot about this one and am really looking forward to it. So that's Zenaida. Yeah. I think Oro Rosa is the pattern company. And again, I recognize these by name as well. And what do I do for these? Because I don't know them by name, if I put these in the sleeves, I think that's what I might do. Because then I can like tell what kind of bag pretty easily from the outside. So if I don't know its name, or if it just doesn't have a like snappy name, it can get organized like that. Oh, I do know the name of this one actually, the Andalusian. Andalusian. I feel like I used to know what that meant. There's a Pixies song that says, I am un chien Andalusia, and that's dog in French or something? I feel like I'm making that up. Let's do a quick Goog. Pixies. What is the name of that song? OK Go covered it when I saw them like 15 years ago. Oh, they put on such a good live show. I feel like that probably doesn't surprise people with how much work they put into their music videos. That's like what they're known for. The live show it's good music. They're really good musicians, and it doesn't feel gimmicky, but there's some like really cool stuff that they do with like handbells. I don't know. It was a great time, worth every penny. Although, God, I can only imagine how much tickets for a show like that would be now. I think they were $40 at the time. That was like 2010. And that was with service fees. And I remember being like, wow, it's nearing $100 for 2 tickets, and then including gas to get to Northampton, Massachusetts, and freaking out about it. But like, it's probably at least double that these days. Anyways. Debaser is the name of the song, right? Yes. Debaser lyrics. What is Chien Andalusia? Oh, it is oh! I wasn't completely off my nut. We learned a thing. Good job, class. This is too big. I'm gonna see if it'll fit
in the cubby. If not, we can pivot. Not a crisis. This I will put in here. That's the Liesel. I have a couple It's So Corinne patterns. There's lots of little pieces. We're like, they're for little pouches, so of course. but there's not like a quippy name for it. So I'm just going to put these in sleeves. I don't want to write out the whole title. Oh, let's keep it consistent, the direction things are facing. Stadium bag. Pinto stadium bag. I'm just going to put stadium because I will know what that means. That's meant to be made out of clear vinyl. And you know what? I'm going to a hockey game of all things this weekend. And it's going to be at the Boston Garden. And I've never been there. In all my years, I have never been there. I actually need to make sure I check their bag policy just in case. I know bigger venues are really strict about that kind of stuff. Right? No, my very anal retentive brain is wanting to put these in pouches. Screw it. What's it gonna harm? I got plenty to spare. And this is almost definitely too... Well, I can just fold it. What a concept. All right. Brilliant. Then this is the aeroplane bag. What a doofus. All right. All right. I think that's that pile done. Ooh. Look at us go. Okay. The Zen feeling is coming. It's descending upon me. Let's, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's pack things as we go. Also, all the bags, I used this color marker. I think I'm going to switch to a purple or something for the clothes. Just for fun. I have so many Posca pens. Why not? Yeah, let's do this color. No, let's do... Ooh, let's do this one. It's like a fuchsia. Yeah, this one's speaking to me. Okay. Let's put these in their cubby. Okay. So my frequently used and like previously made up here. Ones I have cut out but have not done yet are all in here. Oh, perfect. Right? Get the rest of these in here. And then this big boy can go maybe in the back. Yeah, I feel very good about this. Into it. Okay, now we must tackle the dresses. It's mostly dresses. It's not only dresses, but it's mostly dresses. Ooh, do we do hanging patterns first? Let me show you where they've been, and then we'll relocate them out here. So I have my backdrop, right? You usually see right here, but I have been accruing a whole stash of patterns in here, and I've just been hanging them on little curtain clips. So some of these are self-drafted. I think this is fine. This is a dress I made very recently. I think I made a couple of them. Oh, my Rocco's Modern Life dress. That was the first one I made with this pattern that I took off of an old dress. So I'm just going to grab the like dozen or so up here and move them out there. And same thing, the ones I've already made, I'll like put further away and have the ones right in my face be the ones I have not done yet. Right? Right. All right, now it's all spread out a little bit. Not all clumped together. There's still a lot. It's overwhelming to look at. This is a big trench coat. I have not even cut out yet. So I figure if this
is so in my face, again, I'll get annoyed and end up doing it sooner than later, I think, because I forgot it existed, if you can believe it.
Now I just have all of this to contend with. Not all of it's garments. Some of it is just some like oddball stuff. Like, I can just put this folder in there. I'm not gonna like further sort these out. So, winter pattern accessories. This is fine. Until I did my last studio overhaul, did not remember making these. Like, when I saw them, I was like, oh yeah! I feel like I have a lot of stuff in these. I think I'm just gonna throw this in the recycling. I can make better robes than this stuff. And just for like the therapy of it, it's going. Is that it for those folders? Got a fleece hat pattern. A fleece hat pattern I actually hate. So that's also going in my to be rehomed bin. Yeah, and this is all clothes. All my garments. I'm just going to put these right in one of the cubbies right now. Just to get them out of the way. I don't want to open these yet. We'll do that after. But this was hanging, and this is a small enough pattern. It can definitely go in a folder. It was definitely like lost amongst everything. I have this number memorized. Butterick B6453. This is one of the Butterick patterns that Gertie did. And it was one of my first like fitted dresses. I love the bodice pattern on this. It's princess seams. And it makes me very happy when I use it. Now I'm second guessing. 543, 453, 453. It's not in order. 6, 4, 5, 3. Ta-da! Okay. I don't even know what's in here. A witch hat? Hold up. Okay. This is... Oh, for knitwear. Knitwear. Okay. Okay. I do remember making this. I don't think it's long enough, though. Yeah, I literally had to cut off part of the show. I'm putting this in the to be rehomed pile. Oh. There's a dog raglan pattern. That's gonna get rehomed too. That's foaming me out. Free slouchy beanie pattern. I'm gonna put this in a folder. And we'll just call it witch hat. And maybe I'll just separate it garments, accessories. We'll decide that after. Just gotta get these organized first. What am I afraid of committing to here? Am I afraid to write on this, even though it will be easy to just rewrite something else? All right, and then the rest of these haven't even been cut, and they clearly need to just be divvied up by pile. So I'm gonna put those in a bunch of page protectors. I think there's like leggings in here. There's a whole bunch of random stuff. I'm gonna do this, and then we can deal with the accordion folder that I'm afraid to open for some reason. All right, so patterns I have done, and ones I have not. For, let's call them wearables. Well, I guess bags are wearables, but bags are like, so their own world. All right. Well, I have this folder. Oh yeah, someone sent me like a underwear pattern, like a bralette, and I did not delve much into that. I think I'm gonna put that in one of these. I'll just call this Jordy. Was it Heather that sent me that? I don't remember. I've had the pattern for a long time, and I started working on it and then just didn't continue for whatever reason. Anything else in here? Okay, so this is empty. All right. just afraid of the unknown. What is this? Oh, okay. This is something I made for somebody else that I don't need to hold on to anymore. There's so much random stuff in here. Everything's so small. Okay, but this is a pattern I made, but I didn't like. So do I keep hanging on to it? What do I do? No, that can go in the donation bin. Is this something I made? There's so many little teeny tiny pieces. No, I don't think I did make this. I think it's some kind of like snap pouch. Okay. Oh, it's one of my little Dachshund paper clips. I had been using them for trivia games, and just by the nature of me handing out, 10 to 15 of them a month, I have lost all of them into the ether. People always get so excited about them, and it's really cute. All right, what else? Oh, sure. This is the dice bag pattern I had going. I even have some pieces cut out. This can all go in a folder. It's a retired production thing, but I still want to keep the pattern just in case. Just a circle. Oh, I was trying to make little coin purses. I'm not going to stress about it. A plain zipper pouch without the boxed corners. All right. Ball toy. I see, these are kind of my like meh retired patterns. I get it. This is from when I made some beer koozies out of some faux leather. I honestly hated this project, but I feel like I should hang on to them. Why am I like this? I made triangular dice bags that were really annoying. This was a pain to draft, the ball toy. So you do 4 panels of this and then it curves to make like a perfectly round sphere. Is this why I don't have good feelings about this? Is because it's all the patterns I don't really like that much? Kinda. You know what? I guess these all go back in here. I'm gonna set aside the zipper pouch one though, because the dice bag gets its own thing. That has enough pieces, and also like I didn't retire it out of like not feeling like the pattern was adequate. Not a folder, but probably a page protector to put this in. Because there's a lot going on here, and this is like a glasses wristlet. That's fine. I don't have to like throw it out, but do I keep that other stuff then? Yeah, we'll keep this, and I'll keep the circle. It's fine, but I'm gonna put this in a little page protector and put it in my cutout but not yet constructed pile. Is that it? Did I sort everything? Other than maybe some rogue stragglers I have hanging out, this went better than I was anticipating. I thought this was going to be like my entire day, but we're actually in really good shape. I am not mad about this. I'm going to put all of these folders and all of these folders back in this drawer. Yeah, I guess I have less clothes patterns printed out than I thought. I have so many bookmarked and like saved, and I have so many sewing books. A lot of them come from sewing books. Like I have all my Tilly and the Buttons patterns that I work off all the time. That gets its own binder in addition to the 3 books. Oh, but then there's stuff like this, right? So I took apart a dress. So where would this live? Made a pattern off of it, really like fine-tuned it, and then have all the like I'm not like 100% done prototyping it. So what do I do with this for right now? It's just been on my desk in my own way to the point it has now become like ADHD blindness, where you see it so many times that it just ceases to exist. That can eventually go in one of my little garment bins. Once I don't have like multiple test patterns in the bag and it's just the actual pattern pieces, that's a good place for that to go. And also one of the dresses I have hanging up with the clips, which are just like curtain clips, perfect for hanging patterns. So smart. Also gifted to me from my fairy godchild. I use them on my display a lot when I'm selling in person, which by the way, while we're on the subject, this Saturday, so this is going up Friday. If you see this in time, Saturday, December 6th, 2025. The only market I am doing is going to be at Rockingham Brewing Company from 1 to 4. It's in Derry, New Hampshire. I'm going to have all my mini bags there. I haven't raised any prices on anything. It's just going to still be the same. 12 each or 2 for 20 for any and all of my mini bags. So that's like keychain pouches, card wallets, dog bag holders, dumpling pouches. Even though they take varying amounts of work to make, I just keep them all the same price to make it easy. And then I'll have some of my bigger bags. My website is live, sewingnerdstudios.com. So my reversible sling bags are available there, as well as my dolly saddlebag purses, like the crossbody bags. I have tote bags photographed already, but I haven't like made the listings. So I'm gonna wait till after this event to put them up. And then I'm also going to wait in the hopes that I sell like lots of mini bags this weekend. If I sell anything, it's probably going to be mini bags. I would like to move those along. Anything left, where I'm sure there will be plenty left, because I have a lot of them. I have so much inventory. Anything I made like this year basically hasn't even like seen the light of day yet. So all of that will be with me. And then whatever I don't sell, I will try. I'm not making super big promises. I will try to get them up on my website so people that aren't local can shop there. And listen, I'll be straight with you. I would love some hugs. So if you're in the area, I've kind of been isolating. I mean, I've been with my partner during a lot of the past 2 weeks, week and a half. Today's Tuesday. We lost Bert, not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before. And obviously like the lead up to that was also really rough. I feel like I did the bulk of my grieving beforehand, because it was just, I don't know, like the writing was on the wall, right? So I think I processed a lot of it beforehand. Where like, obviously I'm still crying, I still have moments, but I'm not as debilitated by sobbing uncontrollably as I expected I would be. I find like having to break the news to somebody else, because I know whoever I'm telling probably like knew him and cared about him. So I feel like I'm breaking their hearts, like telling you all. I know how many of you also loved him, because I've had him for so long. He's been such a big part of the channel. Like, he meant a lot to a lot of people. Delivering that news hurts, and it's not fun. But it also is nice seeing how many people cared about him. I'm not the only one affected by the loss. Even though it's not a good feeling, I'm not alone in it, and there is comfort in that. So if you have a dog and you want to bring them for me to pet and love on this Saturday, that would actually heal me more than anything else I can think of. I haven't really been around pets. I've never not lived with a pet before. There's always been a pet in whatever house I was in. So that is really, really bizarre. It's just so quiet. There's no cats. There's no small animals. There's nobody else. And I hadn't like considered that before all this happened. But like growing up, I always had a ton of pets. We did not have the room for the pets, but we always had so many pets. We had like 3 cats and a dog, plus me and my siblings each had some kind of rodent, like usually hamsters or guinea pigs or something. Like, it was always just a huge priority for my whole family, that we had pets. And that just not being the case right now for me, I never thought I'd see the day. But here we are. If you would like to bring your dog for me to pet. I've pet one dog for about like 20 seconds since losing Bert, and I didn't cry on the dog. I thought I was gonna lose it a little bit. It was the night before Thanksgiving. We went to visit some family friends, and their pup is also getting old, and she was just snoozing because there were some grandkids around, and there was a lot of excitement. And then she just separated herself from everybody and was like, I'm just gonna sleep on the carpet in this room alone. And I didn't want to like mess up her chill time, so I like very quietly approached her and like let her sniff my hand and like let her lead the way. If she wasn't interested and had turned away, it would have been fine, but she's like starting to nuzzle up on me, so I pet her a little bit, and she seemed to like, you could almost hear her like sigh and like nestle further into the carpet, and it was a very sweet moment. So yeah, I'm hoping to see a couple of my favorites. Like, there's some regulars that come to the brewery that have dogs that I am obsessed with, And I'm sure I will cry, but it will be nice. Snuggle a pet I'm like familiar with and I have a rapport with. There's one little guy, his name is Gus, and he gets so excited when he sees me, and it absolutely melts my heart. I love him so much. I could probably just reach out to the owners and be like, hey, when are you around? I would like to pet your dog. See, I only like welled up a little bit. I didn't fully cry there. Are you proud of me? I am honoring him when I'm crying. That's how I have been viewing grief in my adult years, is like, it is a testament to how much they meant to me that I'm still shedding tears. It's not even been 10 days. But like, the loss of anyone is you are honoring them by crying. It's like, it hurts because they mattered. So it's not a bad thing to be crying about things. And I will not apologize. Okay, let's finish this last bit of organization and then we'll do a final like sweep of the space and go from there. All right, so you can see into my... Actually, it doesn't look too messy from that angle, so I'm not gonna cower in shame. But I'm gonna put this big accordion folder in the back here, since I've obviously already made all of those. Then my dice bags. No. This Geordie bralette. That can go right in front here. I would like to do that sooner than later. Then let's go up top and finish the bag organization. Right? So, dice bag can go right here. Actually, I'll take that further back because the sling pattern is sticking out a bit, and that's fine. That can go here. This that I have cut out but I have not done can go honestly right in front because it's so small. Yeah, that can live right there and that'll be a good reminder to try it. And then this, because it is one I refer to frequently, I am about to make a bunch of these for one of y'all. So one of you had reached out to me and asked about buying like almost 25 of my mini bags. And thank you so much. Like, always feel free to email me or whatever if there's kind of like a special, especially if it's stuff I've already made and you've just like seen it and you like it, or like, is that still around, or do you have something similar? Like, what do you have? I so appreciate that that person wants to do all their holiday shopping with me. But that zipper pattern, I should actually, now that I've put it in here, I should leave it out for myself because this is what I'm going to make the rest of their holiday order out of. But then it can go up here. Right? Yeah. Well, actually, okay, so this should go in the back on the very top. Why did I put this on the bottom? This is only bags. This isn't other accessories. Sorry, the furnace just kicked on. That scared the crap out of me. Did I mention we're getting our first blizzard today? It is not going to be fun outside, so we're hiding indoors in the basement. Right? That can live there? Yeah. Yeah, that can live there. That's fine. I can move other stuff around accordingly. I think this is going to work for me, though. At least for now. And I can rejudge as needed. I'm going to go set this aside. But yeah, I'm excited. We went through all my fabric together. I sent her a video of, like, everything on the fabric wall. I can show you that. I can show you that. I'll show you B-roll of this, since I can't fit everything in shot. Ooh, so pretty. Beautiful. What an artiste. I went through, like, everything back here with that person. And it was like really nice, like with the patterns, kind of getting my hands on everything and remembering what I even have. It was very helpful. So thank you for that. If you are watching this, the biggest thing I have to mention before you go anywhere is quite literally my patrons. Those of you over on Patreon gave me the world this fall. It's
directly because of you that I got to take the time and just invest every minute that I had into Bert and just make him as comfortable as I possibly could. And like I said, all he wanted to do was sleep on my tummy, and I got to give him that for like most of November. And there's not any other way that could have happened with the support from everyone. And like, I don't know how to say thank you for that. There's not words big enough to express like just how much that meant to me that time. So thank you with every fiber of my being for allowing me that and allowing him that. He was such a good little dude, and I'm so glad we had him for so long. We had him for 6.5 years. He was already like a senior when we got him, and we got him till he was pushing 18. If I had to be working any of the jobs I've worked in the past while trying to take care of him, I wouldn't have been able to give him as good of a quality of life as I was able to this year. And taking a step back from markets, like, there's many factors in why I did that, but that was a big one, was getting to spend more time with him, because he would be so sad when I'd be gone for the day. And I know that I just made him super codependent. Or was I codependent? Were we both codependent on each other? Where I don't know if he had separation anxiety, probably by the end. But he was an old guy in his retirement years. Like, he was put through the ringer as a younger dog, and he was used for breeding, and he was abandoned at a shelter when he couldn't be used as a stud anymore. And then he ended up with us, and we got to love the shit out of him for a long time. And I just appreciate everybody going on that journey with me. Obviously, it's always going to end in heartbreak, but it's worth it for all the, like, good it brought. So many people, me especially, obviously. And, he was named Bertie Bot. Obviously, we got him 6.5 years ago by one of you. And, like, it fit so well. We obviously just called him Bert most of the time, but his government name was Bertie Bot. That was a community-sourced naming, because we just called him the Bean for his first week with us. So, okay, I'm gonna go. But I will see you back here in 2 Fridays. Thank you so much for hanging out. Just a little tip, I guess, how I have to trick myself into being a person.